This is not a drill. Megadeth's final album actually truly has a cover of a Metallica song that Dave Mustaine co-wrote. I can't believe it either. Actually, this is totally believable. Here's everything you need to know about this already historic song coming right up. Okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. Never mind. Megadeth have officially recorded a cover of Ride the Lightning? What? So fans have suspected that this was true for some time after the track listing teasers were revealed slowly earlier this week, but it all became official in a new interview Dave Mustaine did with Rolling Stone. He says, "It wasn't really that I wanted to do my version. I think we all wanted it to turn out a certain way, and for me, this was about something so much more than how a song turns out. It was about respect. That respect," he says, "is for James Hetfield in particular." Dave Mustaine continues, "So I wanted to do something to close the circle on my career right now, since it started off with Panic, the band Dave Mustaine had before Metallica, and several of the songs that ended up in Metallica repertoire. I wanted to do something that I felt would be a good song. The idea came from playing the song in rehearsal and developed into something that is now breaking the metal internet." Mustaine says this cover isn't about any bitterness for not being in Metallica for more than 40 years. That wasn't it at all, he says. It was more about, this is my life going forward. I want to do things that are respectable. And I think doing something where we can pay honor to the guy that, I hate to say this because it's just so fucking arrogant, but the guitar playing Metallica changed the world. Again, Dave Mustaine's words, not mine. There's been more than 4 decades of rivalry since Metallica sent Dave Mustaine on a coast-to-coast trip with a one-way bus ticket after kicking him out of Metallica on April 11, 1983. While there's also been moments of mutual respect and redemption, those big 4 shows we can't forget, Mustaine joining Metallica on stage at the 30th anniversary show, also unforgettable. Any fan of these 2 bands knows that Mustaine still has a chip on his shoulder about being kicked out of what would go on to be metal's biggest band. Now, as Megadeth wind down their career with one last album, called Megadeth, comes out on January 23rd, they'll also be spending an undetermined amount of time on the road saying goodbye to fans around the globe. The self-titled album will feature bassist James Lomenzo, drummer Dirk Verburen, and guitarist Timo Mantisari, who is making his studio debut with the thrash legends. It has 10 songs on it, lead single and album opener Tipping Point, which we've already heard, and the others are I Don't Care, Hey God, Let There Be Shred, Puppet Parade, Another Bad Day, Made to Kill, Obey the Call, I Am War, and the closer, The Last Note. But it's not really the last note since there's at least one bonus track here. Now back in June, Dave hinted that there'd be 13 tracks in total, with the last 2 coming after the record gets released. At Norway's Tons of Rock Festival in June, Mustaine said, "One of those songs is a cover song, but I actually wrote it, so it's kind of like a cover, kind of like my song." And that cover is indeed Ride the Lightning off Metallica's 1984 album of the same name. For band leader Dave Mustaine, this sort of finality also represents a full circle moment, bringing his career back to really where it all began, with Metallica. Fans are eager to hear Dave's version. Who isn't? And they've flooded social media with their own thoughts already. Some fans think it's a bit weird that after so many triumphs with Megadeth that the career ends pointing back at a band that isn't Megadeth. Ultimately, what we all think though doesn't really matter. It's not our band, it's not our song, and we haven't even heard it yet. So, let's dive into Ride the Lightning and some of Dave's other Metallica co-writes. Who else co-wrote the song with him? Why this one for a cover? Mustaine is officially credited as a co-writer on 6 Metallica songs. 4 of them, The Four Horsemen, Jump in the Fire, Phantom Lord, and Metal Militia, appear on the band's 1983 debut album Kill 'Em All. James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich are also credited as co-writers on those 4 songs. The other 2, Ride the Lightning and the epic instrumental The Call of Cthulhu, appear on 1984's Ride the Lightning. Hetfield and Ulrich are also credited on those, as well as bassist Cliff Burton. Until now, the closest Megadeth have come to covering a Metallica song is Mechanics from their first album, but that doesn't even count, right? It's a song Mustaine played with his pre-Metallica band Panic, as well as Metallica, and Metallica reworked it into the Four Horsemen after booting Mustaine out of the band. Metallica did record a song called The Mechanics on the No Life to Leather demo, though. Anyway, let's get out of that maze and back to Ride the Lightning. It's the 23rd most played Metallica song live, sitting at 431 times, and has been regularly featured in Metallica sets for the last nearly 20 years. And it's the 4th most played song off that album, with Creeping Death, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and Fade to Black all having been performed well over 1,000 times each. Shout out to Setlist FM for that. Now, As for how much of Ride the Lightning Dave actually wrote, he told Rolling Stone in 2017, I didn't write all of the music in Ride the Lightning. Lars wrote the melodic intro, and then the next part I wrote, and then the next part I wrote, and then the next part, and then it went back to his part, and then it went back to my next 3 parts, and then at that point, who's keeping score? I think you are, Dave. Anyway, he also said, I got over them using my songs a long time ago. You can obsess on shit like that, or you can let it go, and nothing is going to change it. You've got 2 great bands, we're friends, stuff happened. Nope, not doing it, not going there. So there it is. We don't know when this song will be released, if it's even going to be released before the self-titled album finally drops early next year. Whatever the case, we'll be here manically refreshing all Megadeth pages on the internet until it does. So let us know what you think of this big news in the comments. Snacks and Megadeth records from the Loudwire vinyl shop, and we'll catch up with you all again soon.